Hello, this is Marianne McGuire of Let Go and Know. I'm really happy that you're with me here today. So, today I'm going to be talking about mind chatter and getting freedom around mind chatter. I said in my last podcast that I would be talking about it and offering you some tools to gain freedom around it because it really is one of the main causes of struggle. Actually, it's our resistance to it that causes much of the struggle. But the old monkey mind, it really can hold you captive. But once you see what's going on there, once you shine the light of your awareness on it, you can be empowered and live from a different space that is so much more expansive and so much more fun. So, as I mentioned in the last recording, I suggest that you don't make a problem of your mind chatter and don't resent it for getting in the way of gaining inner peace. Simply acknowledge it and then choose where to place your attention. And know that you can give yourself permission to stop trying to figure it all out yourself. Because in doing that, that's only going to lead to a loop of mind chatter. And when you free yourself, this creates space. And then you can hear the loving guidance of your intuition. So, mind chatter can really have you powerless. And when you feel lost, it's usually because your mind is not quiet. So we need to sit in silence for a few minutes every day so that we can hear the guidance that's always available for us. It's such a beautiful and effective and empowering habit to acquire. So what happens is that we feel as if the problem that we're having is holding us captive and that we have no power until a solution can be found to this problem. So we think and we think and we think and we try to figure it all out. And this develops into a loop of mind chatter, and it's just unbelievably frustrating and a complete waste of time. So when we get out of our own way and let it go, as I say, it's then that we can hear the guidance of our intuition. And that's obviously then when we start following our intuition, that's when life becomes much more smooth and completely delicious. Although sometimes challenging, just because you're following, I have to say, just because you're following your intuition doesn't mean that everything's going to be lovely and smooth and unicorns and rainbows. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it's bumpy, sometimes it's challenging. But when you follow your intuition, you will find that the bumps, they start to turn into a flow and a flow, and it's just the way it happens. So you do have to be brave and kind of jump in there and commit to following your intuition, and then you'll find that you're led in the perfect direction for you, even if it is bumpy at the start. So most people have a constant stream of thoughts, like a voice in their head. And the issue with this is they unconsciously identify with that. They mistake this voice, so to speak, for their true selves. When your mind is clear, you can experience the truth of who you really are more easily, and you can shift from head to heart. And then you can choose from this space to place your awareness on the glorious, spacious beauty of who you really are rather than on your thoughts, because we're all conditioned, to place our attention on our thoughts. When you transcend the self that overthinks and gives into negativity, you can see that your so-called negative states are only covering your true nature. They merely cover your true nature. The love that you are, the power that you are, the beauty that you are already exists beneath, always. This is really, really powerful. And the truth of this is so simple. even though you may feel it, you are not lost. Fulfillment is not to be found outside of you. It's where you are. You are that which you have been searching for. And you have the power to let go of struggling through your life and actually experience what you are already and live from there. When you let go of the habit, the conditioning, it's not our fault, it's the way we're conditioned, this kind of loyalty to negative states, your mind becomes quiet and an intimate space is revealed where you can know the powerful, eternal, infinite part of yourself. And your intuition becomes clear, and the knowledge that is within you comes forth from beingness, from your being. And when this space is revealed, it can become clear to you that maybe your suffering happened because you had thought that what you needed was to be found outside of yourself. And now you can begin to feel the power coming from within. And it's available for you to feel in every moment because it's inseparable from you. It's part of who you are. So I want you to experience this. So I'm going to give you a couple of practical tools that you can use next time your mind chatter is annoying you, because it can be very, very irritating. It really can hold you captive. So it's really great to have these tools. I've been using these for years and I don't have an issue with it anymore. So I'd love to share them with you. So when you let go of identifying, this is a big thing, identification, identifying with your thoughts. Then you can begin to open yourself up to the idea that the thinker is not who you are. You are, in truth, the awareness beyond thought. Kind of behind your thought is what always comes to me. You are the awareness behind your thoughts. You won't be able to think your way home. It's too frustrating to try, as I'm sure at this stage of your life you've gathered. So what I'd say to you is feel it instead. Allow the experience of your true self to well up and emerge. So if you look at it, your mind, it's a bit like a calculator. It serves you by figuring out everything, evaluating everything for you. And when you realize this, you can stop resisting the chatter and instead be grateful and begin to develop a new relationship with your mind by guiding it, choosing to guide it rather than trying to fight it. So a very simple and very powerful way to freeing up your energy from mind chatter is to practice observing your thoughts for a period of time every day. I always think it's a good idea to do it for a period of time, maybe 2 minutes. Obviously 10 is better, but if you can manage 2 minutes, wonderful. And I also think it's a good idea to choose a particular time of the day, say 11 o'clock in the morning or whatever suits you, because when we schedule something, it becomes easier to do. So just set aside just a few minutes to do this, and it really can yield fantastic results. And allow yourself to experience the truth that you know in your heart, that you are not this voice in your head, but you are the one who witnesses it, the one who is aware of it. Because most people think that their thoughts and their beliefs make up their identity. So you could have spent your whole life identifying with the thoughts and the beliefs that you have. So to free yourself from this pattern, you need to experience that you are not your thoughts, far from it. So this is really simple. With your eyes open or closed, it works both ways. Probably start off to get into the habit of this with your eyes closed. Whatever suits you. Simply begin to become aware of your thoughts. Don't engage with them. Don't evaluate them. Don't judge them. Nothing. Just notice that your thoughts are separate from yourself. It'll be just the one time when you're not thinking of anything. So just think, just for the sake of this exercise, I'm looking outside now as I'm speaking. I'm looking at a tree. Think of a tree. Think of anything, just something really simple. Notice that there's distance when this thought comes into your head of the tree or into your mind of the tree, whatever it is. Notice that there's distance between you and your thoughts. And now, when you've noticed this distance, experience this space between yourself and your thoughts. Now, this unbelievably simple little thing enables you to feel more powerful. Because before, you may have felt consumed by your thoughts, like they were taking over you. But by witnessing them, you can experience how you are not your mind or the thoughts that you have. And this enables you to begin to feel your true self. It begins to make room for your true self to be felt. The joy that you are, the love that you are, it becomes covered over as we go through life, as the years pass, as the conditioning happens. It becomes covered over because you think that your thoughts are true and you give them way too much power. And when you feel this distance, it becomes much easier to begin to connect with the truth of who you really are and what you want to see in your life, by the way. So allow yourself to see that you are the awareness behind the chatter. Now, another tool, it's really a perspective that I want to share with you now, is comfort your mind. Please, next time you feel that familiar wave of mind chatter coming up, choose to comfort your mind. So what do I mean by that? Rather than resisting how your mind works, bring comfort by acknowledging what you are feeling. Acknowledgement is completely huge. Very simple, completely huge to empower you, believe it or not. So you could see your feelings as your child within and take loving responsibility for them so that that wounded part of you can start to feel safe and will stop screaming at you for attention. Because, in my opinion, that's what a lot of the cause of mind chatter is. Think about that. Just let that sink in. And you can free yourself by stepping into, I don't have a word for this. I'm going to say it anyway. An adult role. Mature being might be a little bit better for what's coming to me. Mature being. I don't have words. They're so limited. But you can step into, let's call it for now, the adult role, and comfort the child within you by listening to your feelings and allowing them to be expressed. And if you want to take it a step further, you can take out a pen and paper, or not, you can do it in your mind, and create a dialogue so that that part of you feels acknowledged. And then connect with your highest guidance to know what is true in whatever situation you're in that's causing the stress. So you're making room. Now, this is not you're making room like, okay, I'll acknowledge my child within and then get out of the way, because that's the thought underneath that can sometimes be there. I'll sit down, I'll give you attention, and then off you go. You're still here. So that's not what we want. We want to acknowledge. It's huge. Oh, it's huge. Acknowledge your child within. So that, and this is what the feelings are really, screaming at you for your attention. When you do that, I mean, it might be uncomfortable at first, the power, the beauty that comes forth from you is, look at, you're loving yourself. You're opening the door by being willing. Even if you're not able right now to love yourself, because God knows it's difficult in the beginning for most of us. But just by opening the door and being willing, it's the first step to really nurturing and loving yourself. It's so beautiful. Please, please, please give yourself an opportunity to do this. It's absolutely huge. Just see your feelings as a child within, acknowledge them, create a dialogue with them, and then, as I say, space is made, and then you can connect with your highest guidance to know what to do in whatever the situation is that's causing you stress originally. But please do it for the sake of doing it, to love your heart. As I say, don't just do it to get to the next step. So the third tool, or perspective, see through it. Most of the thoughts that we have are repetitive. So if you're judging yourself, if you're dwelling on regret or shame or guilt or blame, all of these keep you in a negative state. But you know, it's absolutely fascinating to realize it's not possible to be in any of these states while you occupy the present moment. So the next time that you find yourself having guilt about the past or regrets or worrying about the future, just shine the light of your awareness on that. Just become aware of how this draws you away from the present moment, and see through it. See through it. Take your power back. The very act of witnessing how you dwell in the past or the future will give you the chance to change. It's quite subtle if you feel like meditating on this for a minute. Your point of power is always in the present moment. It's the only place where life happens, and it's the only place where you can create your life from. You meet your truth. You meet your true self in stillness and in joy and peace. And when you do, you will no longer feel separate from your source. And you will realize that it was always present. It was just hidden beneath the negativity, the different states, the mind chatter, the resistance, the conditioning. It was just hidden. And it is safe to let go of the searching and know this truth. So for you to live a fulfilled and connected life, when I say connected, I mean connected to yourself and to your source, and then to everyone, everything else. It is necessary to pay attention to the present moment. And I would say that you start to cultivate a relationship with it. Begin to fall in love with it. So, in ending this time together, I loved being with you. Let me remind you to allow your being to shine through and dissolve the mental chatter. It's not real. You are. See through it. Just beneath it is freedom. And if you'd like more information, or I'm offering a complimentary clarity session that you can contact me and schedule one, I'd love to connect with you. Pop over to www.letgoandknow.com. LETGOANDKNOW. Until next time, much love.